DJ Brother Z, holla at me.
Juice, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Benjamin, are you ready?
Let's get it.
They don't even know what's about to happen.
We're about to take over the world. See, what y'all don't understand is everything that's old is done. But everything that's new, that's us.
It's getting real juicy.
It's amazing.
Voices defining a generation.
You grow up thinking the world is all roses and bunnies and things like that, and
Peaches and cream.
literally, and it's not.
The most impactful commentary.
I am taught to protect women and children and die for my country. These are the types of things I'm taught. Sure, I put my life on the line. Sure, I could have died that day or whatever, but these are the types of things that come along with being a man. At least I would have died with my honor.
Real news, real lives, and the juiciest conversations.
Noni. it's really juicy.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studios in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here are your award-winning hosts, Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni Juice.
What's poppin', everybody? Happy Tuesday. It is May 21st, 2024, and you are now Jammin with Juice. Okay, I'm your girl, Noni Juice, always keeping it juicy. And of course, I got my boy Ben Jammin with me.
It's amazing.
Whoop, whoop. And it is amazing. How are y'all feeling out there? I'm feeling good. You know, it was a little gloomy today, which I try not to let the weather dictate my emotions. But I don't know. Sometimes when it's gloomy, I just be like, ugh, it feels ugly.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, Juice World, because today is Biggie's birthday, Christopher Wallace.
Hey,
yes,
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Shout out to you, Playboy. I know it's been a long time since your passing, but you have influenced me to actually become the man I am today. And now I'm
in what way?
Now I'm here on Jammin with Juice.
In what way? How has Biggie influenced you, Benjamin?
Biggie has not only made me be the coldest rapper alive. Yes, if you call in right now, I will challenge you with these bars. But he's also made certain that I took this microphone right here and made it my lifestyle and made it my career.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Biggie Smalls. You were my number one inspiration when I decided to start in the rap game. All right, I looked towards the stars and wanted to know if I could be greater than the greatest. All right, and I think I am holding the baton.
You know, I think you would be really good at poetry.
You think so?
I really do think so. You have a very poetic way of how you say things and how you think about life
Really?
and your perspective.
Okay.
Oh yeah, your observations.
I'm gonna receive that, dog.
But you're a rapper, so I mean
This
it
is
makes
true.
sense.
I'm an MC. I'm a rapper. You know, I'm an artist. That's why I told people when you watch my TMJ4 interview, I told y'all I'm the greatest artist of all time.
And
I
you
told
meant
y'all.
that. You stood on business
told
with that
y'all.
one. I ain't gonna lie.
I looked directly in the camera and I told y'all what it is. All right, so y'all better go ahead and ride out this journey.
No,
you know?
facts.
Well, and I'm glad to be a part of doing this. Honestly, this is the big three right here. All right, this is myself. It's Carrie Noni. We got DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. He one of the greatest of all time. That boy gonna be with DJ Khaled one of these days. I'm telling y'all. So it's a fabulous team around us. And one
facts.
person I'm glad who's not around us is Diddy, because he probably taking advantage of our talents.
Right, I was about to say, shout out to Big Papa here, Biggie, but Diddy was also somebody who was around him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk around Diddy. You know, we talked about Diddy yesterday. We kind of broke down his apology, and we thought it was trash.
It was
to
trash.
Cassie.
It was
You know,
trash.
shout out
Huge
to
ass
Cassie.
beat.
But a lot of people were coming at Diddy because he did not say Cassie's name in the apology. Everybody is like, oh my God, that was so inconsiderate. He didn't even say, hey, I'm sorry, Cassie, da, 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 da. But as an update to the story, apparently Diddy is reportedly legally barred from saying Cassie's name in public after their settlement that was in November of 2023. So they can no longer say each other's names in public.
Right.
because of, the settlement that happened.
But see, honestly, that's what happens. That's what happens, Diddy. That's what happens when you have these huge platforms and you misuse them, all right? And you do heinous crimes. That's what's supposed to happen. Now, because you thought you had freedom of speech, that has to be redacted. That has to be taken away from you.
We at church? What's going on?
Hey, we might as well be. This Jammin with Juice is 12 o'clock. Somebody eating somewhere. Praying to God right now. But seriously, that's what ends up happening when you have these large platforms and you are a person of affluence or somebody who is somebody like a Diddy. You're a celebrity. You have a platform. You are a public figure. That's what happens, man. And I think it was right, though. I would think it was right because they shouldn't be able to say Cassie's name in that video. In all honesty, like we said it before, she might be getting re-victimized just because of that because he didn't utter her name over throughout his lips, So it's one of them things, man.
I guess my thing is he didn't have to say her name in order to be able to still apologize to her. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say he didn't apologize to her, in private before, maybe when all this court stuff was going on. And he has acknowledged her before in award show saying, "Oh, thank you to Cassie," which is really narcissistic if you ask me. Because he over here saying thank you to Kim Porter, thank you to Cassie for holding me down during the dark times. Bro, what dark times are you going through where you beat me up against a wall, allegedly? You know what I'm saying?
I saw the video. I saw the video. It's public record. I saw the video.
I'm saying I guess she did. Did he throw her? Well, he kicked her and everything, but it was just a lot of stuff.
She ran into a corner. He threw stuff at her.
Yeah.
We saw it all.
Yeah, we definitely did.
You went on to apologize for it.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. And so I just feel like there was another way that he could have apologized to her by saying, I am sorry to the woman in the video. I am sorry to everybody who had to witness me like that. I apologize for whatever. He could have found a creative way to do that. But I guess he didn't think to because he didn't really care that much.
He really didn't care that much, Carrie. And I usually call you Juice, but today I called you
I
Carrie.
know. What is up with that? Are we beefing?
Hey, Wex called you Carrie.
Are we beefing right now?
But no, all I'm saying is think about if he did use Cassie's name in that apology, right? He might have created an uproar amongst his own following, right? Some people might actually start sending her death threats, because those types of things do happen when people idolize somebody like a Diddy, who has had plenty influence over the past 30 years. I'm certain he does have some kind of cult-like following, just like a Kanye West. He's got his own Bible out there. There are cult followers out there just following Diddy, willing to do his bidding, just like a beehive, if you will.
Yeah.
So I am certain if he did use her name, it could have actually been looked at very distastefully.
I get it.
And again, he would have used this platform incorrectly, in my opinion.
But all of this kind of makes me think of why more people who were around aren't saying much. Like the only people who I have really saw say much about what has been going on with Diddy and what they have seen from him throughout these years have been his former bodyguards.
Right.
So they have been the ones to say, I witnessed him beating on Kim, or I witnessed what he did to Cassie, or I witnessed what he did to just a bunch of other people who were in the industry, and they're the ones who are coming forward. But I'm just wondering about all the other people who could have been around him seeing this and they're not saying anything. Like, do you think that they're afraid to say something? Because we just saw Cameron yesterday. He was on CNN for God knows why, what reason, why he, of all people, they gonna get Cameron, who is a rapper, but he is also the host of a podcast called It Is What It Is with Mace, who was somebody who was under Diddy on Bad Boy Records, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, take that. Yes, he was.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they were. Yeah. So they brought him on CNN yesterday, and I don't know why, and he don't know why he was on there, because he's like, listen, I don't have nothing to say about Diddy. I didn't know anything about that. I'm riding behind whatever my boy Mace got to say because I'm doing my podcast with Mace. So he is someone who's like, listen, I don't know nothing about this, but I wonder why they haven't gotten somebody else who has literally been around Diddy and who has a platform to be able to come out and say, I did witness this, I did see this, and it made me feel this way, or even to just describe Diddy's character. Like there could have been somebody who was around him who we all know, some type of public figure who could have came out and have said something, maybe on CNN, maybe on their own platform. I don't know, but are they afraid?
They could be afraid, though, Kerry. I think that's one of the things that people, again, I'm not saying that Cameron was scared. However, I think that throughout the music industry, or not even just the music industry, Hollywood, Diddy does have a reputation. And some people have definitely witnessed that platform that he stands on. It might be a very powerful platform, and they don't want to be touched because or face any repercussions behind what they may or may not say about Diddy that might put him in a negative light. You know, because ultimately, we said this before yesterday, when it comes down to somebody controlling your world, you know, how you get your money, how you make your money, the safety of your home, your family, got all these ties to a career that you've worked so hard for, but he's given you, it could, be diminished at any time. It could be destroyed at any time because that person holds just that much more power, you know, and it comes down to, like we were saying before, platforms, right? Like, Diddy has such a big platform, such a huge following that at the drop of a dime, he could say a word and some people might come through and do the worst heinous crimes, you know? There were instances where people talked about, because of Diddy and Drake having the beef over the 0 to 100 beat, that Diddy allegedly was going to have Drake killed, you know?
Yeah,
and that's the power,
I heard that too.
Yeah, and this is the power of this is the power that Diddy may have. He may actually possess these types of this type of power to actually do critical damage to somebody. We heard allegedly he even, had Kid Cudi's car blown up. Do I want to experience that? No, I don't. Same time, it's because Diddy has this big platform, has a huge network, that he may actually have the resources to do these things. And these are the types of things that we're kind of asking. It's like, man, when it comes down to people having these platforms, it can be very dangerous. Right. It can be very dangerous because on one end, you may be able to influence people to do good, or you may be able to have them do bad things. So it's crazy.
So do you think that people who are influential, who have platforms, that they should kind of be a little bit more cautious of the things that they do put out there? Do they have to be more mindful of the opinions that they put out there? Because if it was somebody who was close to like a Diddy or something like that, and they're putting all of this information out there about him, right, they could be like, I don't know, terrified, They could get whacked. You might get whacked. Because there's a lot of people out there who talk about they got mob ties. Drake said he got mob ties. Drake said he down with what's buddy name? Who?
Jay
Prince.
There we go.
Yes.
Down with Jay Prince.
Prince.
Mob ties. I got mob ties. So you don't know. You don't.
And
really
Jay
know
Prince. They say when Jay Prince get involved,
it's serious business. It is serious business.
It's a wrap. Okay.
Yeah.
It is definitely a wrap. But I don't know. It just made me think of all of the people who we know who have platforms, who are famous, who are influential, and what are they really doing with it?
The Cardi B's of the world, the Amber Roses of the world, the Donald Trumps of the world.
Yes, is it their responsibility to speak up on certain things? Right. Is it, let's say Jay-Z, for example, shout out Rock Nation, right? You love throwing up the sign. I don't know what's going on. But is it his responsibility to come out and say, hey, y'all stop bashing on my boy, or I saw some things that he did and it wasn't right. Is it his responsibility to be the person to come out and let the people know what's really going on? Because even when it comes to the bodyguards of Diddy and they are coming out saying what they have seen in the past, people are kind of coming for them because they're like, okay, well, why didn't you stop it? Or why didn't you this? Or why didn't you do that? Always trying to come up with some type of solution. Maybe Jay-Z's like, hey, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be involved in that. I'm going to still be his friend behind closed doors. But he's choosing to not put that on his platform because he understands what could come from that.
Yeah, no, I see where you're going with this, Juice. I see where you're going. And ultimately, people with these platforms out here, like I said before, it can be very dangerous. So really, should they actually be, more accountable for the things that come out of their mouths, especially when they have platforms?
No, I definitely 100% feel like that is something that they need to be mindful of. Because, or what were we going to say?
Call in right now, 833-212-1017. No, seriously, we want to get y'all voice heard. So call in right now, 833-212-1017. When it comes down to public figures, should they be responsible for the words that come out of their mouth? Especially when it comes down to heightening things that might cause destruction to the world.
Yeah, and exactly what we're talking about, not just Diddy, but Amber Rose yesterday came out with a picture of her with Donald Trump, apparently endorsing Donald Trump. And I'm just like, why do we give people a platform? Why do we give people a platform when they know how much power it holds? So that is why we are asking, should people with platforms be more mindful and be more cautious of the things that they are putting out there? We are going to get into that on the other side because Amber Rose, I need to know what is going on with you, girlfriend. All right, 833-212-1017. They got no hair in the back. You are tapping in with Jammin' with Juice. We will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. You are jamming with Juice on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to our 1017 The Truth YouTube channel. Coming with straight truth.
When we talk about giving more money to these ideas and we are pouring into NPS, sometimes people wonder, is they pouring into a cup with a hole in it? They got raises. We got one of the highest paid superintendents in the state. Where the money going? And not only for NPS, where's all the money going that's coming in to help the city of Milwaukee? Is it being managed correctly? I'm talking about on all sides.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
It's 1017 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, and you've heard me talk about the importance of home ownership and the generational wealth it can build. I understand the thought of going through the home buying process can be daunting, but my friends at Axe Housing have been helping people from Milwaukee turn their dreams of home ownership into reality for years. They have home buying coaches who will walk with you every step of the way, from getting your finances in order to getting pre-approved for a loan, searching for your home, and closing on it. They even have a great partnership with BMO Harris Bank, who offers the down payment assistance program where you can receive up to $16,000 toward home down payments. In addition, BMO has a community and home ownership advancement team who is passionate about serving the people of Milwaukee and have many resources for you to use, from their credit builder loan to their community home improvement loan. Let Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank be your one-stop shop for home ownership. Come and start your home ownership journey Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar. Visit axehousing.org today to register.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance, get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, assigned its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coming with straight truth.
When we talk about giving more money to these ideas and we are pouring into NPS, sometimes people wonder, is they pouring into a cup with a hole in it? They got raises. We got one of the highest paid superintendents in the state. Where the money going? And not only for NPS, where's all the money going that's coming in to help the city of Milwaukee? Is it being managed correctly? I'm talking about on all sides.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. More of Jammin' with Juice is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you don't miss a drop of juice on Jammin' with Juice.
Bigger game, all on a bigger plane, balling and getting paid. I was there, then the paper came, then the haters came, but we still rise above.
Truth Nation, you are now tapped into Jammin' with Juice. I am Ben Jammin. That is Carrie Noted Juice. And that is DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. And I have an important announcement to make, all right? On Thursday, May 30th, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Deco. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizers, entrees, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients, all right? The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students and 49 Milwaukee. Waukesha and Racine schools, all right? For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org today.
Ooh, I love that Sharp Literacy event. Have you been there?
I actually have been there.
And they mix up all the little McDonald's ingredients. It's actually really creative. I love it.
You took the words out of my mouth. Right? You took the words out of my mouth, Craig.
Yes, well, welcome back, everybody. You are now jamming with Juice. Like he said, I am your girl, Noni Juice. I was keeping it juicy. And that has been jamming.
It's amazing.
And we are talking about platforms and influencers who have platforms, and should they be more mindful of the things that they are spitting out to their platforms, because they know that they have children who could be paying attention to them, adults who don't know no better who could be influenced by them. And it's like, you can't just say anything that you want to when you know people are paying attention and are going to follow you. And the reason why we are saying this is because Amber Rose yesterday, and if you guys do not know who Amber Rose is, she's Kanye West's ex-girlfriend. She is the baby mama of Wiz Khalifa, but she mainly is an advocate for women's rights. And she had a very famous walk called the SLUT walk. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if it's an FCC violation, but y'all can spell, I hope. Back in 2015, to pretty much say, hey, our body, our choice, we can do what we want with what we got, okay?
I just thought she was a bald head scallywag.
With no hair in the back. That too.
Gelled up, weaved up, your hair is messed up.
You clearly had to look up the lyrics. But yeah, no, she just endorsed Trump yesterday on her Instagram, and a lot of people are coming at her because it's like, girl, what are you doing? What is happening? So, Benjamin, can you please let the people know what Miss Amber Rose done said?
Look, this bald head scallywag went on to her platform, all right, and went on to go say, and again, this is her endorsing Trump. This is her support for Trump. Amber Rose steps into the shade room defending her support of Donald Trump. And she goes on to say this. Look, laughing my ass off, all right? Y'all think Joe Biden care about black people? Do your research. It's sad, all right? I did. I'll always put women first. And it's funny she says this while endorsing Donald Trump, all right? She says, I'll always put women first. Now think about it again. It's Donald Trump, the orange man, all right? Y'all want biological men in women's sports. Okay, I thought about that too.
The misogynist and alleged sexual abuser, just by the way. Just throwing that out there.
He did say I'll grab him by the vagina. Trump supports the most reasonable compromise on abortion.
You're wild, bro.
Says stop being brainwashed because we're people of color. Make your own decisions. And clearly, she goes on to make her decision to support Donald J. Trump. Again, Mr. I will grab her by the vagina. All right. And this is the person that she decides to endorse after she goes on. Because her SLUT walk was almost a whole decade ago. This was one of the things she was
advocating for women's rights.
And it seems like if Donald Trump would have met her, he would take full advantage of all the SLUTs that was out there.
That's probably what he was thinking, taking a picture. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get her later. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump.
Probably grabbed her by the back of the head.
Palmed her like a basketball. Damn. 833-212-1017. Do you guys feel like influencers or people who have influence should be more mindful of what they are saying on their platforms, knowing that they have some level of influence? We're going to head to the lines right now. We got Jay on the lines. What is going on, Jay? And how you feeling about Amber Rose?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, my perspective on it is I believe in the power of free speech. I mean, it's kind of clear that you all at 101.7 are, Joe Biden supporters.
Whoa,
pause, brother. Pause. All right. I'm for a man of the people. Okay. Look. Whoever you vote for is who you vote for. But as far as me, I'm voting for Jammin. Okay, that's what I'm going to stand on. I'm voting for Jammin. And make sure you vote for me in the year 2052 because that's when I'll run for president. So.
And I just think that, the right to free speech is important. And, if you take that away from people, it starts off at, surface level things such as this, and eventually it evolves into things where, major catastrophic events in the world you no longer can speak on or things of that nature. I value our capitalistic society. I don't necessarily believe in socialism, and I believe that the Democratic Party trend towards socialism as opposed to a free reign capitalistic society. So I mean, I believe that. People. America's pretty much one of the greatest places to live. I mean, you can start off at ground zero and make it to success. I mean, immigrants come here and do it all the time. There's reasons.
Wait, hold up. I got a question for you, though. I got a question for you, bro. What?
Yeah, absolutely.
What race are you?
I'm black.
Okay, all right.
You couldn't tell?
I just wanted to know.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much, Jay, for tapping in. We are about to head to the lines to Dr. Ford. Dr. Ford, what's popping? How you feeling about Amber Rose and her comments on Donald Trump?
What's the deal, guys? So first off, I think it's important in this conversation, anyone who has that platform that says that they're from the community and for the community has a responsibility to the community to call things out, like the things that happened with Diddy. So first off, it is domestic violence, no matter how you cut it. A lot of people will try to justify things when celebrities get caught up in these things. But when events like this, like domestic violence, affects our communities disproportionately, African-American communities disproportionately, especially in Milwaukee, which has the highest rates of domestic violence, it is of everyone's interest for these influencers to speak out about it and to set the example that this will not be tolerated. Ben kind of spoke to it yesterday. There's no tolerance for domestic violence, period, because it is something that we're seeing time and time again that's affecting the health and affecting the lives of many generations of our communities. So for anyone who is experiencing domestic violence, always reach out for help. There are hotlines available. You can text BEGIN to 88788 to get help and make sure that you are getting yourself and your family into a safer environment.
Well, I have a quick question for you, Dr. Ford, because you bring up a great point. It is our responsibility to be able to speak out whenever we are seeing some domestic violence or we feel as though our friends and family are in danger. But how do you go about it? Let's say you are a friend or you are the family member and you're trying to help the victim to get out of their situation, but they keep running back or they're just too afraid to leave and they keep making, I don't want to call it a mistake, but they keep just going back to what they're used to. How do you navigate from there? Can you get help for them and maybe have someone meet with them, or what would you suggest that someone could do?
Yeah. So it's important to know, especially in that situation, like you said, it's a tough situation that a lot of family members and friends find themselves in. When there's that recidivism or people that go back to those situations. But it's important to know that the psychology and the social strings that are attached to domestic violence, a lot of folks may rely on that person financially or their situation financially. There are a lot of barriers to leave, as in Cassie's situation. A lot of the reports are coming out that she was trying to leave but could not. And so the best thing that you can do in those situations is to be supportive and to allow, those individuals to know that they have support outside of that and that there are other services available to them and resources available to them to help remove them from those situations. I see it a lot in the emergency department. We have what we call SANE nurses or sexual assault nurse examiners that will provide resources for domestic violence as well to help women and men, too. This is not just a thing that's isolated to one gender. But to make sure that we're providing that environment and that safe environment for them to use. And sometimes we'll provide them resources if they're not ready right now that they can always go back to. But, it's key to note that things a lot of times will give statistics, for people who, let's say, were strangled. That places you at a risk that's 18 to 20 time fold for things like homicides upon that next assault. So we want to make sure that we drive the message home of how serious it is and want to drive home, the fact that for our communities, it's disproportionately affecting us and enough is enough. We got to stop this.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ford. We appreciate your comments and for chiming in, giving us that knowledge, okay? Dropping it in on us. We got another caller on the line. Let's run to it real quick. We got Brian. What's popping, Brian?
Yeah, how you doing?
We are doing amazing, as Jammin would say.
Keep it juicy.
How you feeling, Brian?
Yeah,
what do you feel about Amber Rose?
Well, Amber Rose, I don't really get into B-list celebrities and stuff like that, or even A-list for that matter, because they're not important to me. They have no bearing on my life. But I would say that she made a good stand in supporting what she supports, because she don't go for the wayward type of lifestyle, which is shocking for a celebrity. But she took her stand, and that's good for her. But what I wanted to say is the most support. Trump is still getting the same support he got in 2016. It's common sense versus. It's not basic. It's not so much Trump against Biden. It's basically Trump against the Democratic retarded agenda. Nobody wants to see men turning into women. Nobody wants to drive toy cars made of electricity. People want to. The most black folks want to drive their Hellcats down the street like a bat out of you know what every day. We don't want to be pushed into golf cart type cars. That's basically it. I mean, everything else. I mean, it's interpersonal. I mean, everybody got their own personal feelings about certain little things. But when it comes to major common sense things, we got to go with pushback. And not saying Trump won't usher in some of that stuff too, but he represents time and pushback against a retarded agenda pushed by AOC in the Green New Deal.
Why do you keep calling it a retarded agenda, Brian? What is going on?
It's retarded. It's retarded. I mean, nobody wants to do. Why would you want to allow a man to turn himself into a woman? For one, that's retarded and stupid. Do it on your own.
Okay, so Brian, doing that, Brian.
So Brian, because I mean, honestly, there are people out here who do subscribe to this thing. Benjamin is not one of them, but you know, all holes need to be filled, so to speak.
Whoa, Ben.
I'm just saying. Look,
I guess what if he's talking about let people have free speech? Stop talking about what people want to do with their body, bro. Like you can't be saying free speech over here and then talk about something's retarded over here. Like, come on now.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's support on both sides. However, there are things that I do agree with what you did say, Brian. Ultimately, you know, nobody really knows the correct things for us, but that's why we have a democracy, right? That's why we have a democracy. On one end, there's right-wing people who are like, you know what, we're pro-lifers. On the other end, there's somebody saying like, you know, we need to be for abortion rights, you know. But ultimately, that's where America is the great country that it is, because, you know, it's a collective conscience. And with that being said, we all in all try to figure out the best things to do for the American citizens. But thank you so much, Brian, for calling in. I always appreciate your theories, okay? But with that being said, Truth Nation, seriously, call in right now, 833-212-1017. People who are affluent, all right, and have influence over the people, should they be more responsible with their words? Call in, let us know.
And you know, real quick, we about to go to break, but on the other side, I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel like this is just trash. Why I feel like Amber Rose should have just stopped whatever she felt like was needed to be done. Okay,
ball head, scallywag,
ain't got no hand in the bag. We'll be right back.
Jammin' with Juice returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Curbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
What is at stake for African American voters in this election?
A great deal is at stake. All the progress we've made is at stake. For example, right now we've lowered healthcare costs. I've been able to walk in and make sure we forgive student debt for people who are struggling to get to school. We've provided billions of dollars to HBCUs to give them a fighting chance. We've changed prescription drug costs by allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices so that people on insulin are paying $35 a month instead of $400 a month. and all prescription drugs can be limited to $2,000 a year, even though cancer drugs are $10,000, $12,000, $14,000. We're strengthening Medicare. Look, we stand up for principles. Our democracy is at stake, in fact. Look what he's doing with Putin and with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Look at him saying, we don't think a country is paying enough for their own defense, then when they get invaded by the Russians or anyone else, that's up to them. We're not going to help. He has a fundamentally different view than the vast majority of Republicans, I might add, in the past, as well as me and the Democratic Party.
To hear more of President Joe Biden's interviews with Sherwin Hughes, visit 1017thetruth.com and find it in the interview podcast tile, or download the 1017 The Truth app today. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told. Listen to The Truth all day, every day by downloading the Truth app or streaming on Spotify, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Stitcher. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth.
This is Jammin' with Juice on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Shout out to the Juicy Jammers riding the wave.
Get money regardless. That guap, get some chicken. Guap, get some bread. Guap, get some chicken. Guap, get some bread. Press, you can flex. Get some money. Tell me why you stressed. Now I said,
I love me some Cardi B, okay? But I do not like Cardi B's actions. And we're going to get into Cardi B in a second. Y'all are tapped in with Jammin' with Juice. I'm your girl, None of Juice. That's been Jammin'. And we're talking about Amber Rose specifically, but how or should influencers and people with platforms be cautious about sharing their opinions? We say this because Amber Rose just yesterday endorsed Donald Trump on her Instagram account.
Bald head, scallywag, ain't got no hair in the bag.
And I'm going to tell y'all why I feel some type of way. But if y'all want to tell us why you feel some type of way, 833-212-1017. Callers, we see we about to get to you. I just got to say this real quick. If she's endorsing Trump, okay. If she wants to vote for Trump, okay. You're right. It's freedom of speech. I understand that. But my thing is, literally last presidential election, she was calling Trump an idiot for all of the bad things that he was doing, all of the negative things that he was saying. And now all of a sudden you want to endorse him just because she's saying, oh, he has the best compromise on abortion. No, he doesn't. I believe Biden does. Because wasn't Trump the one in his party, the one who made it Roe versus Wade be overturned?
I mean, that is true, and Trump actually goes on to take credit for it. But, I mean, in all honesty, when people come down to endorsing these folks, whomever it may be, it always aligns with whatever they actually want for themselves, right? And that's who you, in my opinion, that's who you should be voting for. If you want to vote for Trump because he aligns more with your values and views on life, then go ahead and go for it. If it's Biden and he aligns more with your views and values, then go for it. I mean, even forget about just even the political idea. Like, just remember where we were at in 2020, and some people were trying to figure out if coronavirus is real or not. Cardi B decided to go on her public platform, go on live, and coronavirus.
It's getting real.
It's getting real, coronavirus.
And not even just that.
So
she literally, do you have it? You know what I'm saying? Coronavirus.
And she used her actual platform to inform the people that coronavirus is a real thing. Now, here it is in 2024. Some people may be like it wasn't real, but a vast majority of Americans took the shot. All right, so I'll say that.
And not even just that. She made us feel like, oh, coronavirus really is getting real. That's the power of a platform. People, I don't want to say everybody, but people who followed her start taking it more serious. But not even that. She understands. And these people, and by these people, I'm talking about influencers or just celebrities with platforms, they understand the power that their platform has. Because last election, Cardi B did a sit down with Joe Biden.
That's very
because
true.
she understood that with her platform, she has power to be able to potentially sway the people, or at least letting them understand that, listen, this is a very important election. You guys need to do your due diligence and look up your research or whatever. And this is the person who I might be endorsing. Now, if you know that your platform has power, I'm not saying you can't speak on how you feel. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to be more mindful of how you present the information to people. Cardi B now, she's saying, I'm not voting for either side because both sides are trash. Okay, there are people who are now going to be like, okay, well, if Cardi B thinks it's not cool, I don't think it's
I'm
cool
running
either.
with it too. I'm a follow Cardi
But
B
what
to
she
the death
could
of me.
say is, hey, through my research, I have realized that I don't really like either side, but I still would like for my audience to be smart and do their own research to see who would be the best candidate for them. But to just say, I ain't vote for them, they trash, you have to understand that your platform has power, and there are too many people out here already running with that narrative of, I don't want to have to pick between the lesser of two evils. Okay, but just let them know that they need to do their research as well, because they're just going to follow what you're saying. Charlamagne, too.
Right. I mean, honestly, Carrie, I call you Carrie again.
I don't know
Juice,
what's up. You're beefing
I don't
with
know.
me today.
Today is just one of them days, dog. Juice World, okay. But no, honestly, we also got to realize that celebrity marketing, celebrity branding is as old as marketing, all right? Celebrity branding or celebrity endorsement is a form of advertising campaign or a marketing strategy which uses celebrities' fame or social status to promote a product, brand, or service, or to raise awareness about an issue. So this has been used time and time again to influence us to buy products, to influence us to do elections, or it has also been influenced for us to take the jab or not, all right? So whether we like it or not, people decide to use their platforms, sometimes for the best, sometimes for the worst of things. So
yeah, 833-212-1017. I just want to say real quick, James in the text just said, Juice and Jammin is Sherwin and Tory Light. LOL. And that really cracked me up. But we are going to run to the lines. We got Ms. Rose on the line. How are you feeling, Ms. Rose? What's popping? And what do you feel about influencers and people sharing their opinions on their platforms?
I tell you, first I'm dealing with my hands. But anyway, my thing is, it all depends type of contract one has with the station. If the host and hostess depends on the company's statement of non-responsibility for anything stated, then they're free to do anything they want on a personal level. But there's another area that people keep forgetting. That responsibility, like the truth, it says the truth. Well, if you're going to do the truth, then you present all sides. If you're a station that doesn't care about truth or what, but just personal, and the station gives you the freedom to do that, then you just have the right to do whatever. But the key is, hopefully, you don't think that your listeners are so dumb. I know what you're saying when they get the people who just listen to others. Because even when I told people about do not vote yes on the referendums, those who knew me knew that I did my research and that I did it knowing what was going to happen. And so, but then there are those who won't, just because it's me, won't do it. So you got these type of people who will follow people because they want the truth, and then those who will follow people only because they don't want to be bothered with going through those. But it depends upon the contract of the station or what entity is being broadcast from. And this is what we keep forgetting. That's why it should always proceed not responsible for what the people involved are saying. And I don't know if I ever hear that from the truth. Have I?
Oh, man, thank you so much, Miss Rose, for calling in. We always appreciate your honest opinions, all right, of what's going on out here in the world. But again, Truth Nature, when it comes down to Amber Rose endorsing Donald Trump, I mean, was that right for her to use her platform to do so? I mean, on what
you're on WhatsApp the truth.
We got the freaky ass Negro in here. Let's go. What you got to say, Al?
Well, I'm going to say this. I think she blew her integrity. I think her integrity is shot just like her insides. It's like old seasoned meat. Nobody wants it. So now she's trying to put out SOS flags to get help because she's old, washed up news. Because when you have integrity, you say one thing, you stand on it. You don't become a sidetrack or a sideline and you play both sides. You're going to play one side or you don't play them at all. So she really just nailed herself because she's old news. That's Lifetime story right there. Ain't nobody screaming on Amber Rose. So even though she screamed it on her platform, she's still not getting the 2 fingers from Donald Trump. You ain't still getting nothing. Now you might use you might use your mouth, but you ain't getting nothing else. But it's the way she did it. So that's all I'm saying. If you're doing something with integrity, your integrity is going to be the power of your word, and your word is going to be the power of your truth.
Right.
She done lost all that, so now she might as well lick on his boot. Have a good one.
I feel that, Al. Thank you for calling in.
Al.
And the Truth Nation, if you feel the same way, feel free to call in 833-212-1017.
Or a different way.
Yeah, so you can get your voice heard. But you know what? Somebody actually on the YouTube chat
I was just about to bring it up. You read them
But they actually feel Al's sentiments. No, they feel Al's sentiments. So what they going to say on the YouTube chat line, and make certain that you guys who are watching us on YouTube right now, make certain that you do hit the chat line, text in, and just let us know how you feel. But they going to say, look, Amber Rose is entitled to her opinions, all right? But let's not forget that she isn't relevant anymore, all right? What better way to garner some attention than to stand next to Donald Trump? She just wants to be buzzing again, controversial or not, all right?
I don't like people like that, though. Like, I don't like people who just seek attention, and they are seeking attention no matter how it makes them look.
Yeah.
Like, what type of person are you? What type of character do you have to be like, you know what? I'm just going to ruffle up some feathers just because I need some more attention. I need to make some more money. Like, girl, is a tattoo on your forehead not enough attention to be garnered to yourself?
I told y'all, man, Donald Trump probably gripping the back of her head right now, okay? But then this goes on in one of the texts. They're going to say, look, what a big contradiction. She professed to always put women first. There should be no compromise when it comes down to Roe v. Wade. Sure, Biden is tripping for allowing non-biological women to participate in women's sports, which is something that I don't agree with, okay? But really, girl, it's a no for me, all right? And Amber Rose, and anybody standing next to Donald Trump or standing next to Joe Biden, look, if you're going to be on either side, just make certain that your values align with that person's, and whatever your opinion is, it's just that. But don't go on your public platform and influence people to do the wrong thing, because personally, that's one thing that I don't agree with. If I go on to do something that I don't truly believe in, but I had to do for the betterment of my family, I'm not going to come on this platform and tell people to go ahead and do it, because I personally don't believe in it. But if you happen to believe in Amber Rose, or you happen to believe in the Cardi B, and you truly wholeheartedly believe in that, then go ahead and say that. It's not for me to judge you, all right? It's not for anybody to judge you. It's between you, yourself, and God, all right? So that's how I feel about it.
I'm just trying to figure out, where is the line drawn, you know?
On her forehead. The line drawn on her forehead, Juice. I mean, clearly. But it's one of these things, again, like,
what in people's minds are they like, this is something very important that I should be sharing with the world, you know? And I get the free speech. You know, I understand that. We have free speech right now. We are a radio.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes, we have free speech. You know, as long as it's good with the FCC.
As long as it's not obscene, indecent content.
No, but you sound really mad. I wish I could say F-bombs.
Hey, I wish I could. Because that one caller, I was going to be like, F this dude. I ain't going to lie. But hey, that's where we're in. We're in the business of radio, man. And we got lines that we have to abide by. And again, we are public figures. We are on a public platform. Yeah. We're over the air, expanding across all the nation. And anybody could tap into it. So we can't sway people to do the wrong things, or at least we shouldn't, all right? Because we have the responsibility to make certain that people are, not only just entertained, but informed to do the right things, or at least have better information than what they had before.
Okay, I'm period. But let us know how you all are feeling. 833-212-1017. Should people with platforms be more cautious when sharing their opinions because they know that y'all just gonna listen to them? 833-212-1017. It's Jammin' with Juice. I'm your girl, Noni Juice. That's been Jammin', and we'll be right back.
More of Jammin' with Juice is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you don't miss a drop of juice on Jammin' with Juice.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices. One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So in reviewing some of our recent data from the Wisconsin Maternal Mortality Review Team, we found that pregnancy-associated deaths disproportionately affected birthing people who were between the ages of 20 and 29, had high school education or less, were enrolled in Medicaid at the time of death, or who lived in urban areas. About 97% of the pregnancy-related deaths were preventable. And finally, one last thing that I'll share is that we see that Black birthing people are dying at higher rates than white people. And that is something that we cannot ignore. So when you ask what is the state of Black maternal health in Wisconsin, I would say we are still in a state of crisis. We're seeing great work. We're seeing things moving in the right direction, but we still have much work to do. Much of what we see is preventable. And that's why it's very important to continue to have these discussions.
Are you ready to find your dream home but don't know where to start? Well, I've got great news for you. Join me, Sherwin Hughes, on Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar in partnership with BMO Harris Bank. Visit axehousing.org today to register for this informative event where you can be put on your path toward home ownership. There are absolutely no income limits. Make this the day you build your home ownership team. Meet with Axe Housing, HUD certified home buying and financial coaches. Attend sessions on how you can build and repair your credit. And honestly, my favorite part is that you can get pre-approved for a home loan right there on the spot. Become another success story by taking your first steps toward home ownership right now by working with Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank. So again, join me on Saturday, June 15th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at North Division High School in Milwaukee for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar in partnership with BMO Harris Bank. Register today by visiting axehousing.org. That's axehousing.org.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
More of Jammin' with Juice is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you don't miss a drop of juice on Jammin' with Juice.
Yeah, I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business, yeah. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. What's up, y'all? It's Jammin' with Juice. I'm your girl, Noni Juice. That has been Jammin'. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos, standing on business. And I'm standing on business with what I said, okay? We are about to wrap the show up with a bow, talking about Amber Rose, but not just Amber Rose, but people of influence who are using their platforms to put out their opinions. Listen, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again, all right? You can do whatever you want to do with your platform, but think about how you are saying it and who you are saying it to, all right? So if you are someone who's like, okay, I am going to endorse Donald Trump. Okay, you can endorse Donald Trump. You can do whatever you want to do, but just say, like, okay, y'all should do your own research. You know, because people, you might think that that's something that people would do. It's not. Everybody ain't just going on their own research. Sometimes these airwaves is the only type of research people are doing. Or sometimes Instagram and whatever their favorite person is posting is the only research that they are looking up. And so the people who are posting these things know that. And if they don't know that, they need to know that their platform has power. So just be mindful of how you're using it. Even us here on 1017 The Truth. Like, I'm trying to be very mindful now that we have this show every single day of what we are putting out here. And so I don't want it to come off like I'm even going one way or another way. I'm just saying people have to be mindful because these kids and this next generation, these millennials and younger, they are voting now. And right now they don't want to vote because of these narratives that are being pushed. So I am going to pride myself on trying to inform the people and letting them know what it is and what it ain't, to the best of my ability. And if I don't, call me out on it. I'm fine with it because I'm sure going to call her out on it.
You going to stand on business.
I'm going to stand on business. Okay, think about it. What was the purpose of her posting that?
Yeah.
You know?
No, seriously. I agree with you, Juice. Ultimately, if you're going to endorse somebody or stand next to somebody, just make sure you're doing it for all the right things and know that person's business. Ultimately, everybody saw what happened with Diddy, and a lot of people moved away from him because they didn't want any of that smoke or heat that they might actually catch from any of their political affiliations or business partners that now they might be looked at as some kind of monster. All right? But with that being said, this is a message personally, Amber Rose. If you want to go ahead and endorse Donald Trump, just know that if you are endorsing Donald Trump, you are also endorsing a president who a potential president who went on to say that he will be a dictator, okay? Understand that he also went on to go say that he will conduct the biggest deportation of illegal immigrants, all right? And some of those people are my friends. Okay, so just know that if you're going to endorse him, you stand by that as well. And I want to tell people this, because for people who know Ben Jammin, y'all know I love superheroes, all right? And I'm a super, DC comic fan, all right? I'm a fanboy of DC Comics. But sometimes Marvel gets the best of me. So I want to go to the Marvel Proverbs, okay? And with that being said, Marvel Comics, this is coming from Spider-Man, all right? Ooh. With great power, y'all, comes great responsibility. That comes straight from the mouth of Uncle Ben, if y'all know Peter Parker's uncle. You? Okay. I might as well. Actually, I might have actually hopped in the Marvel Universe timeline. All right. I might be in the Marvel Universe. Okay. I am Uncle Ben. All right.
You somebody, Parker. Uncle.
I got like 6, 7 nieces
exactly.
and nephews, and I'm also a great uncle 3 times over. Okay. So I actually am Uncle Ben. I did Uncle Ben's mini rice and all these things. But like I said before, with great power comes great responsibility, all right? It is a reminder that power is not only fun in games, and it should not be exploited at will, okay? So when you do have power, when you do have a platform, understand there are people out there who are influenced by what you say each and every day, and you could sway them to either do the right thing or the complete wrong thing. Y'all saw what happened with Donald Trump and the January 6th riot. So,
And now I want to head to the YouTube chat real quick. We got somebody in there, the Henny Code. They are called clout chasers. There are a whole lot of people out here this way now. The best way to defeat them is to cut off their water and give them no attention at all. And that is definitely a bar, okay? Because if I ain't gonna give you no attention, if you wasting my time and I know you just on some BS, I'm going to just move around. I don't even want to see it no more. I feel like the Shade Room should take that as a bar because they be posting some BS, okay?
I don't want to see Amber Rose forehead. I don't want to see her bald-headed ass no more. Cancel her. Cancel Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, wait a minute. How Jada get into this?
Okay, maybe she just caught a stray.
Right.
All right, but y'all know what it is, Juice Nation. Tap in the gem with Juice.
Yes, thank y'all so much for chiming in with us today. Now sip on that. The Tori Lowe Show is up next. I'm your girl, Noni Juice, y'all, and that's been Jammin'. I was keeping it you say.